This is another time of the Paris trip. Crumley and I had eaten dinner with a couple of women, one of whom was this woman that she was a physical therapist in a madhouse, was how Crumley used to describe her, because she had explained to him her job in some detail. She was a friend of Catherine Berge, who made a film about Crumley and some other writers. I don't know if it was ever finished, but we were out with these two women and we had dinner, and one of them, the friend, looked exactly like Angelica Houston. And I remember that detail because when I mentioned that she looked just like Angelica Houston, Crumley said, "I had breakfast with her once." And I thought, wow, okay, yeah, no, it's a small detail. But Crumley was not a screenwriter at heart, but he loved movies, you know, and he used to talk about how, well, if you write a movie for just for the money, if you're a writer and you go to the movies just for the money, yes, you're a whore. But if you love movies, you're not. It's all right to do it if you really love it, and if you're just some snob who's just saying, well, I'm really doing it for the paycheck, then you're a fucking asshole. And that was Crumley's take on it. But he loved his Hollywood connections, and he worked on a lot of movies that didn't get made, or they got made with other people's names on them. And but anyway, we were having dinner with this woman who looked just like Angelica Houston, and at the end of it, the physical therapist in the insane asylum went home, and the Angelica Houston look-alike came out with us and said, "Would you help me get a taxi?" And so we go out, and we're at the taxi stand, and a taxi passes us by and stops about 10 feet away to pick up this sort of well-dressed couple. What in France, I don't know how to explain this, but in France they're instantly recognizable as media assholes. You know they work in television or, you know, advertising or something, but they're just supercilious, smug assholes. And the cabbie is looking at us at the taxi stand where he's legally obliged to pick us up. He's saying, well, a couple of fat guys and a lady, but look at those people, they look like they have money. So he steps, you know, and picks them up instead. And I stopped in and I said, hey, asshole, you're picking this lady up. You're not picking these. Well, you know, and I'm speaking French the whole time. And Crumley didn't speak any French, but he had a great ear. And he had picked up a lot of French phrases in the 10 days he was there. And so we're, you know, I'm arguing with the taxi driver, and I'm saying, look, I got your medallion number. You know, you're fucked, buddy. You know, take this lady, or I'm gonna kick your ass. And at that point, the taxi driver says, j'ai un couteau. I have a knife. And he doesn't know what the fuck to do, because he's like, I was just picking up a better fare, man. It's like, you know, who are these crazy fuckheads, you know? And so meanwhile, another taxi comes up, stops at the taxi stand, and the Angelica Houston lookalike, who just can't wait to get away from these two assholes, is like, got a cab, bye guys, nice knowing you. And she takes off, and the media guy and his girlfriend and the renegade taxi driver take off. And we're walking away kind of feeling sort of, you know, vindicated and sort of like a couple of drunken assholes. And Crumley turns to me and says, hey, was he saying, I have a knife, I have a knife? And I said, yeah. It's like, wow, you know, this guy's got a great fucking ear. Anyway, Crumley told that story for years about me. And every time it got more and more violent. And, you know, it's like, hey, and they cut that cabbie from stem to stern, and he threw his guts out. You know, but I was kind of alternately annoyed and proud that, you know, it's like, yeah, Crumley's building my legend.